Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Surma.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome to another Topical Ramblings. Today we're talking about why we play board games.
Yes, we are. We thought this would be like a nice little video to do. We have talked a bit about how we started playing board games and all of that in some Q&As, but not all of you watch all the Q&As and you don't like sift through them to find these specific questions.
Why not?
Why don't you watch all of them and write down anything? Now we just wanted to talk a bit about like our origin story, basically. If our superpower was having a YouTube channel about board games, then this would be our origin story.
Hopefully better than Wolverine Origins movie. So
so if this is better than that, we have done something good. So we wanted to just take some time and talk about why we started playing board games, but why maybe we played board games as we were kids, how everything happened, and all the way up till today.
Yes.
So we're going to start talking about playing board games while growing up. So you want to begin talking a bit about you growing up. Did you play a lot of board games?
Yeah, we played some board games. I think we're like average Norwegian family. Like we play Yahtzee and Monopoly, and we play games at our cabin. But my dad especially aren't like a gamers type.
No.
If there is more rules than like one rule, he will not join us. So I remember like my mom and my brother and sister, we played some a little heavier games.
Yeah.
When I say heavier, I still mean pretty simple.
Yes.
But I remember that playing games with my mom and my siblings was like one of my favorite things to do. Yeah.
So you enjoyed playing games when you were a kid?
Yes.
And you also played video games, right? So like playing games, something you have always done.
Yes.
And one fun fact that you had to tell is that you played one of the first games by designer Christian Amundsen Østby.
Yeah, the creator of Escape the Curse of the Temple, Magnificent, Trails of Ghana, Santa Maria. So he made a game that is called like The Mutiny of Little Blue, which I thought as a kid was like the best game ever. It's just like bluffing game, really.
And you still have it, right?
Yeah, we have it at our family's house.
So you should get Christian to sign it. That would be really fun, actually.
Oh, it was so fun.
So that's just a tiny little... But you enjoy playing games.
Yes, I did.
I always loved playing games. When I was a kid, we had this little playroom, which is now our eating place in my parents' house. Eating place, yes. So that used to be 2 rooms, and there was like a playroom there. And high on the shelf were the games. And my mother is still saying that the first thing I learned to say was, I was pointing at that and say, play game. I did not know all the letters, so I just like, play a game. I didn't know what to say. So
in Norwegian.
In Norwegian, yes. I was not like a prodigy and like speaking English when I was 3 years old. So that was like one of the first things I learned to do, and I enjoy playing those games. And I also enjoy playing video games, but we weren't allowed to have video game consoles in my house, which is just how it was.
Rule.
Yeah, we got a DVD player in like 2002. I remember the last VHS tapes we had is Spider-Man, the first one, and Lord of the Rings. We had those on VHS. Nobody else I knew had those on VHS, so those were really rare. So I played a lot of those games growing up, like as you said, like the normal games. But pretty early, when I was like an early teenager, I started getting some more strange games. Like I bought games that nobody had heard of. I remember buying Munchkin Quest, the board game.
How old were you then?
I guess I was I was like 13, 14.
Oh, yeah.
And I also bought, I remember one of Glenn Drower's first games. He's a really nice guy and makes really good games now. That game is not as amazing. Age of Mythology, because I played Age of Mythology, the PC game. I was like, oh, there's a board game of this. So we went to Outland, which is like the nerd store. When every time I was in Oslo, the capital, I went there. Another thing I really want to tell you is that, I really want to tell that sounded like really important. It's not. It's just that my brother used to play board games, and he still likes playing games. So when we play, the few times I get to play games with him, he really likes it, and he gets into it, especially if there's some backstabbing. He's more into being able to do things. We played a lot of great games with him last summer, which was really, really fun. And he used to play Axis and Allies, and he used to play Magic the Gathering. And also, what is that one called again? No, we played one of those games. Oh, I do not remember it. It's where you are the dictators of the Banana Republics. You will know what game it is. It is a pretty well-known game. But they played that. I do not. I see the box. I don't remember the game. And I remember watching them playing Axis and Allies. That was the most boring thing ever. When I was a kid, I was like, "Can I watch you play?" And it was like, "Yeah, sure." I was sitting there. I remember this is my experience of seeing that game. That's probably how it is to see us play heavy games now. People just staring at the board, for 10-15 minutes and moving one piece, and then somebody else staring at the board for 10-15 minutes. I was like,
chess.
I'm going to go to bed. So they didn't have to do anything when they were babysitting me. Yeah. I just went to bed because it was so boring to watch the game. But my brother taught me to play Magic the Gathering when I was probably 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to have someone to play with when his friends couldn't play. So I always played games, basically.
Yeah.
And I didn't like play. Now I'm just like I'm going into the next segment because in our plans I am starting the next segment, so I'm going into the next segment, which is why we basically started playing games again, like getting more into the hobby of board games.
Yeah.
Because in between this, I was growing up. I played Magic the Gathering. That was what I played. I then played a lot of Munchkin because I thought that was fun. I'm glad people evolve. So I played a lot of Magic, a lot of drafts, went to tournaments. I was really competitive, not like on a regional level, but locally I was pretty good. And I was only having fun when I knew everything. When a new set came out, I was reading all of it, like the spoilers, a new card showing up every day. I was reading up on that. So when I went to pre-release events, I knew all the cards in my head. I knew all the combination that was good. I would open up my steel deck and say, oh, I'm going to do that. Because I read all the articles and everything, I knew, oh, if you get that card and these cards are good together, and I just loved that. But then it's so expensive to play Magic, and I just fell out of it because my ADHD brain also gets really high focus on something, and then it kind of falls down. So I was getting to a point where I was a bit more bored of playing Magic, and I was also really getting to the point where I was bored of sitting in the couch. And every time we had friends over, this was just actually like half a year before I met you, I was so bored of sitting in the couch, not doing anything else. I'm putting on a movie and sitting on the smartphones and not talking, not doing anything. So I went to the local bookstore. They happened to have Carcassonne, Puerto Rico, and I think already I owned Dominion, but I think they had a Dominion Intrigue, so I got an expansion, and we started playing. The people I played with didn't like board games that much, but they liked me hanging with me. They liked me enough to actually play board games with me, and that was nice because that kind of fueled up that. And then I found BGG, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I didn't have like a thing that got me into board games. I had a person. That person is you. When I grew up and didn't like, I have younger siblings though, so we've played like those classic family games for a long time after I got like older as well. But when I started like gaming, that was with you, and I hated it at like first.
Did you hate it?
Nah, I just hated losing. That is what I hated.
You still do?
I still
do. But now you don't do it.
Yeah, because I lost like every single game we played. You won all of them because you were more like used to thinking that way, I think. And also you were better. Yeah, you were better at games. So
what happened?
Those were the days.
For me.
Well, so I actually I would probably wanted to do something else than playing board games. I was like one of your friends that you were just like, let's play board games. And I was just like, nah. And you actually like convinced me.
But this was also, and this is fun because this was early in the relationship. So you are both ways, you're like easier to like mend in that time because you want to.
You're trying to like adapt to the other player.
Another player. Yeah, that's where you're now. Absolutely.
We're just playing for the love. The whole relationship.
Yes, it's just we just play a card every day and see what happens. But I think that's interesting because you enjoy playing some games, like you enjoy playing Carcassonne and Lost Cities. Those like
I only wanted to play Carcassonne because when it got too complex or with too little luck, you could say, I had no chance of winning. So I felt really like, I don't know, I wouldn't say bad, but it wasn't fun like sitting for a few hours and playing a game that I knew I would lose, and I got really, really mad when I lost.
And now I'm gonna go do a great segue into the next thing you're gonna talk about. And then I was like many other people, going to Google saying how to get my significant other to play games with me. And I found something on BGG. I'm not proud of it now, but we are here now. I don't know if this channel would exist if I didn't do this thing.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it has worked, but the thing is that
How has it not worked? Do you win over me in all the heavy games?
Well, okay. So you made like a competition.
Yes.
That in a month we would like try to win the most games, and then the winner
would get a prize.
The problem with that is that you still won everything.
I think 1 month you won.
Yeah, I think so. So I didn't think that was fun, but it actually made us play more games together.
You were saying things now that I didn't know, like you didn't thought it was fun.
No, I totally said that because we've talked about this.
I just didn't hear it.
Other gaming like couples where one liked it more than another, and you just like, oh, you should do this, and I'm just like, no, don't do it.
I don't think you should do it. No.
But it actually made us play more games together, and that eventually led to me being able to win more games, and then I had more fun with it.
Yeah, because that was the main point. Like you felt like it was just meaningless because you couldn't win.
Yeah, I know that a lot of times people play games and win very little. So I know that you can have fun without, like, I'm not in... the point of the game isn't always to win.
No.
Like, that is not why I get...
But you have to be in it to win it.
Yeah, you have to. But, like, the feeling when you're playing a game is quite different if you feel like, oh, now I think I can do something cool. Now I think I get this. Oh, now I did this awesome move. Then I don't know what I'm doing. How does this work?
Yeah.
Oh, you did that, which I didn't know was the rules. And and sometimes it's still like that. But like when we played in the beginning, it was like that a lot of the times, and then it didn't feel rewarding, you know?
No, yeah, I absolutely understand that, and but now we're here with a collection of 600 plus games, and we also have a YouTube channel, so it's kind of it's changed kind of a lot.
Yes, and some of the games that I would really like many years ago, I don't like now, and also some of the heavier games. For example, Eclipse, we played, I don't know if that was really early.
It was, absolutely,
but I think it was too early for me, for example, so that well. I can get much more out of. I don't remember that time in our lives when you, like, no matter who came over, we were going to play board games.
Yes.
And we were going to play the new stuff that you got.
Yes.
Like, no matter how heavy that was.
Yes. We talked about this quite a few times, like, because now I don't really, if I get a game now, if I don't play it in a year, it's fine, because I'm gonna play it. And also, like, back to that you said, now also when we get people over, don't we play board games? Like, always.
Oh, we do.
Yes, but then they know about it.
Yeah, they know about it. Like, the friends that don't like board games, we don't hang with them anymore, so... That's
not true either, but we have some friends that we don't play board games with, but I think board games, and that is like one of the... So we have talked a bit now, like, how we got to where we are today, and now we have a YouTube channel and 600 plus board games, and we do play...
Crazy. Yeah.
We do play a lot of board games.
Yes, we do.
So this is like the core of this video, I feel like.
Yeah.
Why do you play board games now?
I really feel like, as you said, the reason that you got into it is the social aspect of them. You connect much more to people when you're sitting around a table and just like solving this thing together, sometimes against each other, and sometimes in really heavy games
mostly
you have
against each other.
AP moments, and you really don't talk at all.
Yes.
But it's something
and
about...
you get angry if somebody else talk.
And sharing that experience. And I know by myself that I really like it from video games as well. I like to feel that I have created something, I've done something. It feels like something that I have accomplished.
Yeah.
And I don't need to win to feel that way. But if I have felt like, oh, I've done something cool, then I get like this cool... I really enjoy the feeling. And also I love the community. Like... This might be because we are having a YouTube channel though, but also going to SNB, like the first time meeting all the cool board game people, connecting with you guys, it's just been such a joy.
Yeah. For me, I just love board games. I just love playing.
Oh, I don't think we can be together anymore.
One thing that is really interesting, and I want to say here, I do not know, or I'm 100% sure this channel would not exist anymore if it wasn't for you. Yeah. Because, like, I started the podcast by myself. You joined a couple of episodes. I started the channel by myself, and then you joined in a bit. But then you were living somewhere else for a couple of years then. And if you go back and see how often I put out a video, it was not 3 times a week. Yeah. And you are very much better at that concise, doing a little bit of everything. My ADHD brain is like, no, I'm gonna play board games, and that happened in the beginning, and that made it like harder because you'd want to do other things, and I only wanted to play board games. And you have the way, like one of the very good things, and this is more like a couple therapy now, one of the really good things you have brought into my life is to be better at that balance. Because I would play board games, and then I would find something else, and I would do that all the time and learn everything.
Games,
and I would do that everything. And that has happened ways in my life, and I think the way that you look at things, that, oh, but we can play video games, and we can also play video games, and then next day we can play a board game, and then we can go geocaching, and then we can do all of these different hobbies, and it's okay to spend a day every week on filming videos for the channel. You don't have to only film videos and then never film videos, and I think that is a very big part in why I still play board games the way I do. And I really appreciate that. I think that is a great addition to my life that you have added.
Yeah, I think like we have fulfilled like this hobby for each other in that kind of sense, because I wouldn't have started with a hobby if it wasn't for you. Yeah, like probably absolutely not. I have lived like in another city for 3 years, and then it was a little gaming club there, but I didn't go there very often, so I know I had a tiny little like part of the board game collection with me there, and I play board games very seldom, so I know that if it wasn't for you, board games would have been a very tiny part of my life. But I know that if I would have lived alone now, then I would have like a tiny collection, and I was like sometimes I would like bother my friends with the board games, and but you make it really simple to play board games because you read all the rules. I'm like super lucky that you're reading all of them and you're teaching the rules, and you're just like, you're getting so used to it, and you're getting really good at it as well. And you also do all the boring stuff with the YouTube channel, because this is what I love doing, like editing the video and keeping track of what games we're going to buy and stuff like that. I wouldn't do that. So
you just play what I put in front of you, basically.
Yes, and I really enjoy what I enjoy, but as soon as we're getting to like the work part, I'm very, very quick to, okay, I'm gonna do something else, you know?
Yeah, I know. And like editing videos, this is not really a video about why we have a YouTube channel, but it is a big part of the gaming for us, because
it's become that.
It is like we would probably have played less games if we didn't have the YouTube channel, especially with Keep or Kill. We are playing a lot more games.
Yes.
But it's fun. Like I think for me, like my brain just loves play. My brain loves that. Just like it's the same reason that we just. First time we did an escape room, it just clicked.
Yeah.
Like our brains was like, oh, okay, this is for us.
This is absolutely
this is something that we like. And even though there's very different kind of puzzles in board games, you are solving puzzles in your brain, like solving and interacting with people and solving all of that. The social interaction is really good. And my brain just likes it so much. And there's so many times, and this is one of my favorite feelings, when I just sit and play a game and I just have to say out loud, like, board games are really fun.
Yeah.
And I do that quite often. I just realize like how lucky I am to be able to have a kind of hobby that gives me so much joy and so many different experiences.
Yes.
Even though we play a lot of base Euros, they give different experiences, and giving that feeling of play, and my brain really, like my ADHD brain is going very fast at times, and then it's like games make me relax and actually think about something else in life. It's
be
good
where you are.
It's good, like to just sit down and zone into that, and that is just great. I just love board games. Board games are really fun, right?
And you are more eager to play like new stuff than I was at least.
Yes.
But one thing I like about games, both in new and old games, is that there's always something new to discover. It's a new mechanic maybe, or you have just learned something new about an old game that you just like, oh, now I get it, this is super smart. I really like that. And also sometimes I think about, okay, board games, we could have a smarter hobby because it's very like passive. You're sitting a lot. It's not the best like for the body, but I think it's a great exercise for the mind. I think this like activating, like learning new stuff, stimulating the brain is very nice. And sometimes I can spend like an hour and a half on my phone just scrolling, and I'm glad that board games are a part of my world to like I would rather play an hour of board games than just missing an hour of my life because I'm scrolling on my phone, because that happens and we shouldn't do that, but we do.
Yeah, so basically like the bottom line for me is that I love the puzzle. I love playing with people. I enjoy being around. Like, there's so many people I have met, and we have friends that I just love being around, and we love playing board games. But it's more than the board games. We can do other things. We can laugh about other things. It's just so many connections there. We have reconnected with one of my childhood friends and her boyfriend, and playing games with them. Not for a while now because of things, but just like. And they just love playing board games, and it's just like, it's just so much fun. But it's not only that. It's not like, oh, we can only play board games and then it's kind of weird. It's like this social thing, and it adds to that, the social thing, and then the puzzles, then the experience. I love experiencing new things, so this is just it's so great. Like, board games are amazing, and I just love this hobby, and that is why I play board games.
Yeah, I love the way it connects people, because some people you are not like agreeing completely with. You're at another part of a life, or at another part of like a culture, or have like disagreements, really, but it doesn't matter, because we play board games and we have fun, and we forget about all the political boring stuff that really we're just humans, all of us, and to come together of like having just fun and play games, I think that is really wonderful.
And that's why you play board games.
Yeah, that is why I play board games.
And that's the end.
Yeah.
This was a nice little thing to just like, more of like a not like so much of a discussion that we usually do. This is more just
I disagreed with everything you said.
I know, but we're talking about that later.
Yeah.
This was just like telling you about the love of board games. I know you already love board games. Please let us know, why do you play board games? We would love to hear that. And that is the end. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, please do so now. It's free, it's fast, and it's fun. Makes us happy.
Yay!
And then you can also click the bell button to get more notifications if you want to see the videos every time we post them. We also have a Patreon campaign if you have some money to spare and you like what we do. Of course, not necessary. It's not something that we think you should do, but if you like what we do and you can, of course it's helpful.
Yeah.
And that is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.